Yeah, Katie, already this month, fans have bought more than $500,000 worth of Buffs gear from the CU website, easily crushing the previous record. And marketing experts say merchandise and ticket sales likely just the beginning of the impact this move will have.
New Buffs coach Deion Sanders is in line to make more money next year than Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett, a testament to just how big of a swing the University of Colorado is taking.
I think definitely Christmas came early for sure.
MSU Denver's Darren Duber-Smith says it's a move that will likely pay off long before the Buffs ever play a snap.
Yeah, season tickets. I would expect they would sell out. I would expect there to be a really big bump where people are going to want to be a part of this, and they're going to want to be on the ground level.
And a CU spokesperson confirms that is happening. 7,000 people have filled out interest forms for season tickets since the announcement was made. And halfway through December, they've sold $565,000 in merchandise, a new record.
Generally, when you bring in more customers, you bring in more money.
But Duber-Smith says the move will likely benefit more than just the athletic department.
Yeah, your football program, really your athletic department in general, but the football program being the primary revenue generator, is your front porch of your university. And so interest in the program leads to dollars.
That means more donors, more student applications, and more tourism revenue in Colorado.
So it's really a win for everybody if he's successful.
All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start this lesson off by giving all glory, honor, and thanks to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. That's Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, as well as a double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth from, and a shalom to the rest of the elders in Achium around the globe, bringing this word out within sincerity, truth, and diligence. And the title of this lesson is going to be The Superstardom of Jake, because this was first going to be, as you saw in the news clips, Deion Primetime Sanders, ex-NFL, greatest NFL cornerback of all time, as well as he was a stud. He was a star in Major League Baseball, a two-way athlete, just like Bo Jackson. He's now the coach of Colorado. And then it got me to thinking as well as I was preparing this lesson. We also have Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest soccer player of all time, who played over in Europe. He would be the tribe of Neftali. He's from Argentina. He just touched down in Miami and caused complete chaos and havoc, just him arriving in Babylon the Great America. So this is about basically the stardom of Jake, and really how Esau he pursuant to which one is this? Matthew 5:13, that the Israelites are the salt of the earth. And Esau, just like ancient Egypt, when you had all 12 tribes in captivity, modern day Egypt has all 12 tribes, and just the amount of money and attention and sauce and juice that Jake provides to all of these kingdoms that he's been a captive under is ridiculous. Because look at, if Egypt was so great, how come what they've been since Jake left? So let's get a couple one. I'm gonna read a couple articles. Let's start with Coach Deion Sanders in Colorado. And Colorado is mainly a Edomite state. Even in Denver, you got a lot of Northern Kingdom Issacharites in Denver, but it's not like the other, big hubs in America. But Deion Sanders is causing chaos just by him alone arriving. Okay, so business continues to boom at Colorado ahead of Coach Deion Sanders' first season, as the program once again reaped the benefits of his arrival following its hugely successful spring game last month. And for brothers that don't know, a spring game is basically like football is, American college football is played in the fall, but a spring game is like a one-on-one, your team offense against defense practice for the fans to see what your team's going to look like in the coming fall season. And you're not playing any opponents, you're just scrimmaging each other. And look at the numbers just a spring game did. During a recent interview with BuffZone.com, CU Athletic Director Rick George revealed the staggering profit generated by the annual spring scrimmage. And it's 47,277 fans. It's almost 50,000 people. It's a small city right there. In attendance. For the first time since the 1980s, the Buffalo sold tickets to the game priced at $10 apiece. A decision that, according to George, raked in roughly $343,000 in revenue. The sold-out April 22 exhibition also yielded nearly a whopping $123,100 in merchandise revenue, the largest of any home game in 2022, per George, and about $143,000 in concessions. In all, the ESPN televised event expected to result a net profit of roughly $200,000 for Colorado, a turnout George described as positive. And that just shows the superstardom of Jake. And another recent move was Colorado. They just switched conferences. They used basically they started off in this college football conference, the Big 12. Last 10, 12 years they've been in the Pac-12. They just switched back to the Big 12. Why I bring that up is they didn't do that for free. That costs a lot of money. A lot of money. This one single-handed Jake, Deion Sanders, Tribe of Judah, is bringing in all this money and resources and attention just for football, for American football. And then let's go to Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest soccer player of all time. He's Argentinian. I think this Jake is from the tribe of Naphtali. And he just touched down because he used to play a lot of the best soccer players in the world. No matter what, they go to play over in Europe. So he's spent most of his career, I believe, in Europe. He just touched down in the United States, in Babylon the Great, in Miami, and just the same. It's gone bananas since he's joined them. A lot of money. Messi drives Miami ticket prices up 500% ahead of debut. And I also read in another article it went up to even $1,000. Average ticket prices for Inter Miami's matches have soared roughly 500% in the month since Argentine Naphtali soccer phenom Lionel Messi signed with Inter Miami, as MLS fans race to score tickets to see one of the greatest soccer players of all time ahead of his highly anticipated league debut on Friday. The average ticket price to Inter Miami home matches during the upcoming season skyrocketed 459% from $152 to $850, according to Ticket IQ, while tickets to Miami's next 7 matches on the road increased 558%, according to Ticket Platform. And the cheapest tickets to see Messi's debut in Miami's League Cup match against Mexico City's Cruz Azul start at $314, with tickets averaging $1,294, according to Ticket IQ. The most expensive front row midfield seats go for astounding $23,000, $737. So it shows you the level of star power that these Jakes have. And it's crazy because, in Esau Edom's, his societies going back to Greece and Rome, he really a staple in his societies are the gymnasium and Colosseum, and no one shines in those venues brighter than Jake, whether it be music, dancing, comedy, baseball, soccer, football, basketball. Jake is the salt of the earth. But at the end of the day, Esau is the one profiting off of Jake's excellency. So let's get that. Especially starting in Coach Deion Sanders, because a lot of these leagues where Judah, the so-called Negroes, dominate, specifically college basketball, college football, the NBA, the NFL, where you see mostly the tribe of Judah, you see barely any Judite head coaches. And that's not an accident, because at the end of the day, Esau always wants to be in charge and rule over Jake, especially Judah. Psalm 62, verse 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Salah. And that's a lot of that's these Edomites. They are the beloved elder Gabar Yahawada of GMS Hawaii. He mentioned in, I believe, the last week's live camp that Judah, he hates all the tribes. Esau, the so-called white man, he hates all the tribes, but he really hates Judah because he hates Judah the most because Judah is a reminder of everything that he's not. And you see Deion Sanders come through with the sauce. He got the cowboy hat. Coach Prime just flexed up, and all the havoc it's causing. Esau gets jealous of that because Esau, no matter what, Esau will never have that type of weight, that type of attention, that type of gravitational pull. Even though he's got all the money, all the wealth, he got that by wickedness, and he really deep down envies that about Judah and the rest of the 12 tribes. And let's get another one. We'll go to Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, 10th chapter, because you see ex-NFL player, now college football coach, and a soccer player. These guys are basically throwing and catching and kicking balls, and they are completely glorified as idols in this world, in Esau Edom's world. Well, that number one, that shows you the even how magnified Jake is in his low state, even in captivity. Look at the madness and the love that Jake gets in his low state. Number two, how much more the men of the Lord in the kingdom, because let's get that real quick actually. Whoa. This is Luke 6 verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation. And Deion Sanders and Lionel Messi, they're cashing out. They're making crazy amounts of money, and that's just for kicking and throwing a ball, intercepting a ball. Imagine what the men of the Lord, the prophets that stood in the trenches lifetime after lifetime, glorifying Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Imagine how much those men, Lord willing, I and the rest of the Akim be of that number in the kingdom. How much we, Lord willing, will be magnified in the kingdom for standing strong for the Lord in the times of wickedness. So let's get Sirach 10 verse 31. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? So like Jake in a low state still has the sauce, still shines. I watched a video, I forget the Akim, it might have been the GMS Chicago Akim. It shows, Jake, they mentioned Jake even in a low state still got actually no, it was Prophets of Babylon. Jake in a low state, even in the hood, got gold teeth. And gotta shine, got the rims, got the Cadillacs, got the Buicks on point. Imagine what Jake gonna be like in the kingdom when all of us are righteous and the Lord is magnifying us. It's gonna be ridiculous, and that's what prime time. When Jake comes through, it's prime time. Okay, and then let's get a couple more. Because just like I mentioned earlier, ancient Egypt had all 12 tribes in captivity. That's the same as modern day Egypt. And since the Israelites, the Lord, the Wada Yahweh wa Yahushai, gave us a way to escape ancient Egypt, it ain't been nothing since then. And that's the same as America. America is going to be a pit of charcoal. It's going to be dust. It's going to be ashes. Once the Lord's done judging this place, it will never rise again. And even if you took all the Jakes, you took all the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans in all of these westernized Edomite-run countries and sent them to the moon somewhere, sent them to their own planet, their society would collapse because we're the ones keeping this place a hold. We're the ones keeping it upright. Jeremiah 50 verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel meaning the Northern Kingdom, so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, being the so-called Negroes, were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And when you see these articles on, ticket prices soaring up $500 or $1,000, and people cashing out, making more money at a scrimmage in 4 decades just to see the team play when Deion Sanders touches down, it shows you why they refuse to let us go, because we are the salt of the earth, and even in a low state we still make everything move. So that's why Esau and the rest of these heathens, they refuse to let us go, because we are the cash cow of them. But pretty soon, imagine what we're going to be like in the kingdom without these heathens ruling over us. And as far as the men of the Lord go, how much they're going to be, we, Lord willing, will be glorified in the kingdom. That's what we're fighting for, an everlasting crown. So I hope and pray that this was edifying. Shalom.